to Zeke's as Bess.
Hey, doing a little end of the day shopping, huh? See something you like?
I like everything.
That's what I want to hear. I'm Lamont. This is my place. So if you got any questions, I'm the guy to ask.
Actually, I do have a question. This friend of mine found the number of a receipt that came from this shop, and she asked me to ask you what the receipt is for. But if you're really busy, or you'd rather not, or it's against the rules...
No problem. What's the number?
21-3872.
21-3872. Here we go. That ticket was for a large box of assorted unknown items I bought from Henry Boley. And, that's all I can tell you.
Is something wrong?
Look, I just don't want to make trouble for anyone, okay?
Where's the box now?
It's still in the back room. I haven't had a chance to really go through it yet. Hey, is there something else I can help you with? Beads, hula dolls, old books. Got great deals on all of them.
Is Henry Boulay a friend of yours?
No, I met him at the reception at Bruno's house following the funeral. Gave Henry my card, said when he wanted to start liquidating, he should give me a call.
Did Bruno have a lot of valuable things?
Didn't look like it, but what he lacked in quality, he made up for in quantity. That house of his is filled with junk. He kept everything. For someone in my business, the place is knick-knack heaven.
Seeing as this place is called Zeke's, and it's your place, shouldn't your name be Zeke?
Guy I bought this place from wouldn't sell it to me unless I swore I wouldn't change the name. So I didn't. Funny thing was, his name wasn't Zeke either.
I think I'll look around some more.
You got a question, just holler.
So, this is a puzzle we're gonna have to solve. There's a lot of interesting things in here. And one thing is, and this is really easy to miss, but this is like, I don't know, to me it looks like the mummy from Secret of the Scarlet Hand. You can click on this, and it says, at midday during math, teacher once said, let's stop and try rhyming. Yes, rhyming instead. Rhyming is heaven, this teacher exclaimed. Some students said, great, but most just complained. Fine, said teacher, another math score in that case. Thus, having fun rhyming did numbers replace. So, in this game, we have to solve a clock puzzle, and that comes later on, but this is like another one of those riddles. Basically, there are a bunch of numbers in this riddle, and you use the clock in the Bolay's house in the hallway, and you can get an Easter egg from this, I think. I'm trying to remember. A teacher once said it's like rhyming. You rhyme with the numbers, so like heaven, 7. Rhyming is 7. And then there's 8. Let's just complain. Fine, said teacher. Another math score. 4, I think. Fun is 1, I think. This one is a little harder because it's like, I don't know, it's just harder. But I think it's 7, 8, 5? Fine. I don't know if that's 5. That's definitely 4. And then that might be 1. Fine and 1. 5 and 1 I'm not sure of. But we'll try that later on. And I actually don't have this written down. So 7, 8, 5 maybe, 4, and 1 maybe. Yeah. So we'll try that on the clock and see if that does anything.
Ew, P.U. This might come in handy.
So Beth says that will come in handy, and we can use it for this puzzle. Also, if you click this a bunch of times, it clicks back, or knocks back. Okay. So, at this point, you can call Nancy and tell her that Lamont won't let you in the back, but Nancy convinces Bess to find a way in the back. So the way that we will get into the back is by using this little, I forget the type of puzzle this is called, but basically each thing causes a reaction somewhere else. So you start off by pulling this and filling up the balloon.
Well, I've got the right idea.
And then something up here. Wait, no. It's here. This is the first part, I think. Putting that there. And then this goes here. And this goes here. I'm just gonna do the first part. For now.
I'm getting there, I think.
So we got it right up until the fan, and then the fan will blow the boat over here. It will pop the balloon. And then we also need to find a place for this. The sneezing powder. Okay, so I think this goes here. And this goes here, and that goes there, I think.
There, that should do it. Lamont, could you help me?
Sure, what do you need?
I can't quite reach that bottle up there. Could you get it for me?
Sure.
Pretty good animation.
Oh no! Oh my gosh! Oh shoot! I'm sorry. I'll go get you something. What do you need?
Nose spray. Back room.
No spray, back room, got it.
So we get to go to the back room and look here.
Dog.
The Skeleton Man costume. Picture of Bruno and his dog. A picture of an iguana dressed up as a pirate. And this mysterious box with a weird letter. And a note saying some of these don't exist, like references to Hamlet. And we're gonna have to get into this box. First, I am gonna call Nancy though, because she can help Bess solve this puzzle.
Hello? I found out that receipt is for a box of stuff that Lamont, that's the guy who owns Zeke's, bought from Henry Bollet.
No kidding. What kind of stuff did Henry sell him?
Well, the box is in the back room, and it contains assorted unknown items, and that's all Lamont would tell me. Said something about not wanting to get anyone in trouble. But you'll be happy to know that I have snuck into said back room and can tell you exactly what's in the box.
Excellent. Let's hear it.
Okay, I found a really old photo of a boy and a dog, and there was a photo of an iguana dressed up like a pirate.
What?
You heard me. And there's a costume in the box of a skeleton man.
Really?
Thought you'd like that. There's also a box that's locked by some kind of letter combination and that has 2 pieces of paper stuck to it. On the first piece is a bunch of goofy stuff written by someone named Amelinda, and on the second is a bunch of numerical references to passages from Hamlet, some of which don't even exist according to a note that I think Lamont made.
Did you unlock the box?
No, I have no idea how.
Well, maybe there's something on those 2 pieces of paper that'll tell you.
I'm not gonna open the box.
Yes, you are. You have to. There could be something really important inside.
Because of me, Lamont's out there having a sneezing conniption. I need to get him some nose spray before he breaks some part of his body I didn't even know he had.
Bess, please. We've got to be thorough. And you've come too far to give up now. You can do it. I know you can.
Oh, all right.
Awesome. Maybe I can help you.
If you've got any suggestions, I sure wouldn't mind hearing them.
Okay. My guess is that some kind of code is involved. You said that there are numerical references on the second page?
Yeah, to passages from Hamlet.
Maybe all that matters is the individual numbers and what order they're in. Try applying the numbers to what Amelinda wrote. Like, if the first number's 3, write down what the third letter is.
And if the second number's 5, I count 5 letters from there and write it down. Okay, I can do this. I won't call you again until after I've opened it.
Okay, so Nancy thinks it's a code. So we're gonna write down 1, 3, 32, 8, 3, 6, 8, 14, 4, 1, 12, and then X. I think this is gonna be X is gonna be the end. We don't even write down X. So, then we take the first letter, so L, and then 1, 2, 3, E. We count 32, and we get to B. We count 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. E. 1, 2, 3. N. 6. U. 8. N. 14. D. 4. T. 1. O. 12. D. And that's it. So, L, E, B, E, N, U, N, D, T, O, D. This completes our transaction. The Whisper is now yours. Respect
Whoa,
its power,
this is weird.
as my grandfather
I better
found
call
out.
Nancy and read this to her word for
This
word.
skull quite often undoes.
Wow, Bess, that is weird.
No, I'll tell you what's weird. The box the letter is in is padded, and it has this round indentation in it that's the exact size of a human skull. It's like it used to contain a skull, but now it doesn't.
Good job, Bess. I'm gonna poke around here and see if I can find out anything about a skull called the Whisperer. You better go take care of Lamont.
Would you believe it? The guy is still sneezing. He must keep nose spray around because something's wrong with his sinuses. Oh, he's gonna hate me.
So, that explains why the game is called Crystal Skull. And, yeah, so we're going to find out more about that. There's a book in the living room or library on it. But first, this is the clock I was talking about. So, I'm going to try to do 7. That's not 7, wasn't 7. So if you mess up, you just back up and it starts over. This is 7, 8, 5. I don't think it matters where you go. 5, 4, and then 1. I hope this works. Okay, no, that did not work. So maybe I missed a number or. Fine. Maybe I should do 7, 8, 4, 1. 7, 8, for 1. Okay, yeah, I don't know what this one is. I might have to look at that coffin again and look at that riddle. But okay, so we could first talk to Henry about... Oh, he's gone. Never mind. Let's just look at the book on Crystal Skulls, which is over here, but we can't go to it yet. So something has to happen first. I think first we have to go back to the crypt and use the key that we found. This key. We could talk to
Hello
Renee.
again.
No, we can't.
I'd better get going.
Fare thee well.
Okay. So, let's go open the crypt. That's Henry. Crying, so that's where he was. And he was crying because this is where his parents are buried, which is very sad. Yeah, Claude and Marianne Bolle. But what we want in here
This
is
must be the painting that goes in that empty frame.
There's an empty frame in the foyer, and this is the painting that goes there. So that is what the skeleton man was after, I guess. Now we can talk to Henry, because he should be back.
Yes?
I'm afraid you're going to be stuck with me for a while.
Let me guess. Because of the big storm that's blowing in. Everyone in the city's freaking out and you can't get a cab.
Bingo.
Person at the bank told me. Just before she put me on hold for 2 hours. Ah, don't worry. We've got plenty of food here. Beds, candles. You're welcome to stay.
I'll let you get back to work.
Whatever.
Thanks, Henry. Okay, I am trying to figure out... Okay, good. Now we can click on this. And, so this is where the book on Crystal Skulls is.
What was that?
That was Uncle Bruno's pet iguana, Iggy. He's always in here stealing paper. He must be using it to build a nest or something. Look, I had all those books arranged so they fit perfectly in that box. Put them back in, okay? I don't have time.
I just want to look through this one book.
Go right ahead, after you put all those other books back.
Okay, so... Classic Nancy Drew puzzle, fitting things into here. Okay, I think this is how it's done. Okay, wait. Something has to go here. Something skinny. Maybe that goes there. Okay. Yeah. The Crystal Skulls, fact or fable, Hotchkiss. Beatrice Hotchkiss. So, Beatrice Hotchkiss from Treasure in the Royal Tower makes a comeback in this game. It's great. I love her. She's one of my favorite reoccurring characters in these games. So we'll get to call her about the Crystal Skulls later, which is fun. An overview. One of the most ancient and widespread legends known to humankind can be summed up thusly. Scattered over the earth are 13 humanoid skulls carved out of pure crystal. At some point in the future, fate will bring the 13 skulls together and they will speak, imparting wisdom that will save the human race from annihilation and usher in a golden era of peace and enlightenment. There are several versions of this legend. In one, the skulls were created by Mayans, Incans, or Aztecs, and collectively form a repository of information detailing how and why humans came to be. Another legend credits their creation to the extraterrestrials who seeded the Earth with the human race and left the skulls behind to explain their actions at some point in the future. Yet another contends the skulls are ancient in origin, but more important, that each skull is somehow magical in and of itself. The distinctive gifts they offer their owners reputedly include precognition, clairvoyance, telekinesis, and of course, immortality. Some variations combine all of the above. What is both indisputable and intriguing about the general legend and its smaller, colorful variations is that several mysterious crystal skulls have indeed been discovered in the past millennium, turning up in all corners of the earth. What follows is an examination of everything that is currently known about these skulls in hopes of separating the facts of their existence from the fantasies of human imagination. And take that. Okay, the Whisperer. The first documented reference to the crystal skull, known as the Whisperer, came in 1532, shortly after Hernando de Soto helped Francisco Pizarro ambush and capture the Incan Emperor Atahualpa at the Battle of Cajamarca. De Soto's aide-de-camp, while updating the De Soto's expedition records, noted that during Atahualpa's subsequent imprisonment, De Soto befriended the Incan ruler. In time, Atahualpa told De Soto a secret. He possessed an exquisitely detailed, life-sized human skull that the Ancient Ones had carved out of pure, clear crystal. He happened upon it at the hut of a deceased high priest, whose astonishingly advanced age had caused his fellow priest, out of fear and jealousy, to slip him a fatal dose of poison. Atahualpa took a fancy to the skull and kept it, and soon realized that the skull, which he contended would sometimes whisper to him in an unearthly voice using unfamiliar words, was giving him immunity to all human ailments. As long as he possessed the skull, Atahualpa told De Soto he would live forever, but like the priest before him, and like everyone who possessed this particular skull after him, Atahualpa soon discovered that while the skull could perhaps protect him from the ravages of time and nature, it was no match for the treachery of his fellow man. To De Soto's great surprise and dismay, Pizarro had Atahualpa executed. Although there is no other mention of the skull in De Soto's records, it is highly doubtful that the Spaniard would have left such a treasure behind when he returned to Europe in 1536. Indeed, the next documented reference to the crystal skull, which Atahualpa seems to have inadvertently bequeathed to De Soto, came in a letter written by a nobleman in the court of Philip II, the member of the Austrian Habsburg family who took over the Spanish Empire in 1556. While a guest at the Habsburgs' palace in Vienna, the nobleman mentions encountering a crystalline head of death, which a manservant swore made utterances, strange and low, too terrible for the ear to bear. Apparently, the skull then made its way to France, most likely via Anne of Austria, who married King Louis the VIII of France in 1615. Because the next reference to a death's head carved from remarkably clear crystal can be found in the manifest of a ship belonging to René Robert Cavelier, Sieur de La Salle, can't say French words, a French explorer who in 1684 was preparing for a journey that would take the skull, ironically, back to the New World from which it had come. The fact that La Salle took the skull with him on his expedition to colonize the Mississippi River Valley suggests that he may have been aware of its reputation for conferring immortality upon its owner. But once again, his real enemy proved to be not age or disease, but his fellow man. A group of his men, stranded in what is now Texas after the expedition, landed in the wrong place and antagonized the local Native Americans, eventually mutinying mutinied and killed LaSalle so they could abandon their mission and head for the relative safety of the French outposts in Canada. The Whisperer, however, appears to have been left behind and didn't appear until almost 200 years later. The photo to the right, found in the basement of a library in Jonesboro, Arkansas, suggests that by 1881, Atahualpa's crystal skull had found itself in the hands of a traveling huckster who apparently used it to lure potential patrons to his wagon so he could sell them various bombs and elixirs. If he is the same Curtis Caldwell who, according to census records, settled in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, he lived and worked to the ripe old age of 93, dying only when a dissatisfied customer set fire to his house in a fit of anger. If the Whisperer was in Caldwell's house...
Murder?
If the Whisperer was in Caldwell's house, it no doubt survived the fire, but exactly what happened to it next has proved impossible to discern, and its current whereabouts is a mystery. But what is known about the skull's previous owners could prove very useful in solving that mystery, for all the people who have possessed it have had two things in common. They lived for an unusually long time, and they always, without exception, met with death at the hand of another. In other words, the trail that leads to the discovery of this particular crystal skull will likely be one that begins with murder. Okay, so now we're supposed to think that Bruno Bolet had this crystal skull called the Whisperer. Also, Renee said that she used to hear this weird word through her wall. Maybe it was the skull whispering to her. And now I think we can talk to Henry about the box.
Yes?
Oh, never mind. We're asking how he died.
How did Bruno die, if you don't mind my asking?
Just dropped dead in the front hallway. I mean, the guy was 95 years old. Here, check it out. Myocardial infarction. That's doctor speak for heart attack.
Attending physician Dr. Gilbert Buford, 504-555-9970. Was that Bruno's doctor?
And his best friend, or so I'm told. I've never met him.
Interesting keychain.
That's one of Uncle Bruno's glass eyes. It's the one he was wearing when he died.
How nice.
Anything else?
I'll check back with you later.
Sounds good.
So we're supposed to think that Bruno was murdered.
Hello again.
Now we can also ask a lot of questions.
I understand that Dr. Bolet had some interesting pets, like an iguana.
That man never met a creature he didn't like. He'd train them to do all kinds of silly tricks, then let them run free, inside the house as well as out.
Do you know how he went about training them?
I surely do not. Don't get me wrong. I liked Dr. Bolet, I truly did. But I swear, sometimes his activities made as much sense to me as bathing in a bayou full of gators.
Were you in the house when Dr. Bolet passed away?
I was indeed. I was in the library cleaning when all of a sudden I heard a big thump. I hurried out to investigate, and sure enough, there was Dr. Bolet lying by the front door. And as I rushed over to him, the door opened and in walked Gilbert Buford. He took one look at Dr. Bolet and hollered at me to call 911. So I ran back into the library and did just that. When I came back out, Gilbert was leaning over Dr. Bolet, listening for breathing, I suppose. And then he started pushing up and down on his chest. But it was too late. Even I could tell that Dr. Bolet was gone.
What was he doing by the front door?
I assume he saw Gilbert coming and was going to open the door for him. Not that there was any need. As you yourself discovered, people around here seldom lock their front doors during the day. But you know, in the back of my mind, I have always wondered about Gilbert Buford showing up at the door at that exact moment.
Did Dr. Bolet ever say anything to you about a crystal skull? He may have referred to it as the Whisperer.
No, he never so much as mentioned a crystal skull, whispering or otherwise.
Nice talking to you.
Come see me any time.